Welcome in, everyone. We are the Uncanny J-Men. I am Josh.
And I'm JADe.
And a trailer was recently released for Princess Fiona, Attorney at Law. I'm just kidding. For She-Hulk, the upcoming Disney Plus show, She-Hulk, Attorney at Law. So we are going to watch through this trailer together. We're going to talk through it as we go, and we're going to see what we think of it.
There's going to be a lot of pausing because we assume you've already watched this trailer. So we're not going to be watching it start to finish. We're going to pause it at every screen that we think is something to talk about. All right, let's get into it.
Let's do it.
Being a superhero.
This is the very first thing I wanted to talk about.
Didn't take long.
It did not take long. There's a lot of shortcuts in this, like quick cuts to one thing to the next. Does this look like the exact same troopers that you see in Miss Marvel?
They definitely have a similarity to them.
Yeah. So I'm wondering if there's going to be a superhero hunting government squad that has these superpowered weapons and everything that we started to see in the Miss Marvel trailer that we may continue to see in She-Hulk.
Yeah, it is interesting. One difference I do see, though, is that in the Miss Marvel trailers, there were bullets. Bullets were flying because they were bouncing off of the light shield that she was creating. These don't look like guns. I mean, they're guns, but they don't look like guns that shoot bullets. They look more like kind of like repulsors or...
I'm thinking Sonic.
Yeah, I was wondering that too, because I know Tony Stark at one point used sonic weapons against Hulk.
Right.
They were very effective.
Yep.
So these could be very similar to that.
Yeah, I think that makes sense. If this is a superhuman fighting squad, like government squad, they're going to have various weapons so that they can take on the varying range of superhero abilities.
Yeah.
All right, let's go to the next one.
Is a try.
So this is a very brief one. It's kind of like setting up a scene. It looks like we know that she's going to be an attorney. She's a lawyer defending people. We find out in a little bit that she's going to be a lawyer for superheroes, but this definitely looks like some kind of hoity-toity event for politicians.
Yeah, that may have gone wrong since it has turned all red.
Yes.
By fire.
Oh, I went right past that, so I'll go back to them. I'm not sure who these people are.
Yeah, they don't seem like the weapons they have is a little unique. Like they're not with guns. They've got like batons and a crossbow in the middle there, and a crowbar. So I feel like this is a unique group, but exactly what role they play, I mean,
I could see them loosely being like the Wrecking Crew from the comics, but none of them are in costume. So maybe not, but it's definitely some group that are hunting or whatever. I'm not sure if they're good or bad.
And it could just be that they needed a group of people to come out and cause trouble for She-Hulk. And this is the group that ended up being there, and they made it in the trailer because they are very imposing looking for that one scene. We'll see if they have a bigger role.
Yeah, this is also very reminiscent of the shadows in the alley scene from the Miss Marvel trailer. I don't think these are the same people, but you never know.
Yeah.
Who's gonna?
We see a car crash.
We do.
My assumption, and you can say whether you agree or not, is that this is Jennifer Walters, the She-Hulk's human form. She getting in a car crash that then requires her to get a blood transfusion from her cousin, the Hulk.
Okay, so that was my thought at first. So I have seen this trailer already. Like we've both seen this already. When I first saw this, I was like, okay, there it is. That's why she needs the blood transfusion that she gets in the comics. That's how she becomes She-Hulk. But I don't think so anymore, because we'll see later in the trailer. There's a scene of her with a destroyed car looking at her reflection in it, and it looks like the She-Hulk reflection.
All right, we'll get to that one in just a moment. We'll touch upon this again at that point, just to look at those differences.
Sounds good.
Protect the world, if not people like you.
This is our first look at She-Hulk's outfit. We don't see her, though.
I'm Jennifer Jennifer Walters. I'm a lawyer. I have great.
This is the first introduction of one of her friends. So we got to see the She-Hulk.
Yes.
Kind of. I was going to wait to do a bigger pause on another screen where she's a little bit more front and center. We see the whole She-Hulk person, because that looked fine. That looked pretty good.
Yeah.
And then we get introduced to She's Got Friends. We see this person who looks like she's going to be in a good bit, because we've seen her in multiple scenes. And we also see the very typical, I'm a workaholic. So there's just Chinese food and random food. They have a bottle of wine out. So it looks like this just typical I work hard kind of environment.
And certainly a couple of open bottles showing, so that the holic part of workaholic is a little more literal here.
Great friends. Can we get some shots?
We got quick flashes of some dude, maybe a love interest, because we know that later on we see that there's some love interest stuff going on in this too.
Yes.
Please, it's an emergency.
And then we get a picture, this facility.
Yes.
What do you think this is?
So we know that she's going to be a lawyer for superhumans, essentially. Heroes, villains, whatever you want to call them, superhumans. This facility, it's like way back there. It looks like maybe it has water behind it. So it's an area secluded. I don't know if that's water or if that's sand.
It looks like desert to me.
It might be desert. Very well could be the desert. But whatever it is, this is secluded. It is set far away from things. It is very high tech. So I'm wondering if this is a new prison type facility that they have built to house superhumans, because you can't keep the superhumans in a normal prison. They'll break out. So this might be this more high tech area to keep them.
Yeah, we've been introduced to a number of superhero, supervillain prisons. We saw like the Raft. This is obviously not that. It's something new, unique. Whatever they're doing, this is something special for this show.
Yeah.
Demanding job.
We just started a superhuman law division, and I want you to be the face.
Okay, so we just see that person say, we need a superhero lawyer, a lawyer for the superheroes. Yeah. So that's what she becomes. She is a lawyer for superheroes or superhumans. Mm-hmm. So I'm thinking this is her first client right here.
Yep, she works in criminal law, and now they're doing a superhuman law division, and they want her to be a part of it. So it's superhuman criminal law. Blonsky, we got Abomination here showing up, and who needs a lawyer more than him for what he did in the first Hulk movie, which was 15 years ago now? It was a while ago. So he's been locked up for a while. So is he lawyering up, or is it something against him? I guess we'll see. My guess, he's lawyering up.
I mean, we saw him in Shang-Chi fighting with Wong in a cage match. Mm-hmm. I don't know if that was like allowed or not.
Yeah.
If Wong was stealing him away from this, or if that was part of like this takes place kind of before that, and he has some kind of ability to go out more freely. But we do see, it looks like this is probably her first client.
And this area right here, in Shang-Chi when when Abomination goes through a portal to go back to wherever he's going to like a prison type area that looks similar to this. So this could be where he's just been kept for a while.
And frustrating.
So then we go to this scene where it's a little bungalow on an island in some Pacific, maybe island kind of secluded area, which is very reminiscent because we see the Hulk in the comics, where he goes to be secluded away from people and things to make sure he doesn't harm anyone.
That's right. And now he's bringing her there. So whether this is somewhere that he is currently living, or if he goes back there, if it's a place that he had lived previously when he was more worried about his own state, and now he's worried about her state and bringing her back there. Either way, yeah, it is fun to have this separated area that he's taking her to try and teach her the ways of the Hulk.
And I'm sure there are going to be some people somewhere saying, is this the Savage Land? Is this some other place? I think it's just going to be a random location around the US, not the US, but around the world, that's just secluded.
Yeah, I'm with you on that.
Ask for this, but you still got to deal with it. Your transformations.
And now we see her being like tested on. They're doing like, this is definitely basement of wherever they just are at. Like that Hulk, he's still a scientist. He's still a super genius. So this is all his stuff.
Yeah. And at this point in his journey, he feels like he's figured out the Hulk. And it shows that he has done a lot of research. He has done the science behind it because he had that giant green binder. Even the binder on the Hulk powers and everything is green.
Yeah.
So now he wants to see, okay, I have mine figured out. Let's get yours figured out. Let's see if yours works the same way or how you can gain your control over it.
And I also want to point out that in this trailer, we're seeing the Hulk without a bandage on his arm or his arm being all messed up. In Shang-Chi, we saw Bruce Banner with his arm in a sling as the human form. It looks like he's healed since then, and he's turned back into the Professor Hulk or the best of both worlds now that he's fully healed. It may have just been that maybe he can still transform on a dime whenever he wants, which doesn't make sense if he's got this form. Or it could have really just been he healed up and now he's fine again.
Yeah, so my guess in this, when in Endgame, when he snapped his fingers, it did a huge number on his arm. In Hulk form, in Professor Hulk form, his arm got badly damaged. The thing about the Hulk is he's pretty much invulnerable. So the fact that this did so much damage, the question would be, in Hulk form, can it heal? Well, I'm wondering if this is how they got around that, is they found some way to depower him, to bring him back down to the normal human form, to let his arm heal. And then he went back to that Hulk form, to what he considers that stable form with the fully healed arm.
I agree.
Are triggered by anger and fear.
Okay, so this is what you were talking about.
Yes, there it is. And we know that this is not her normal look. The green, it's hard to tell whether she's green because the car has a bit of a greenish shade to it. It's hard to tell if she's tall and muscular because of the angle of the camera. But, and I'm baffled as to why, she has curly hair in her human form and long straight hair in her Hulk form. Clearly long straight hair here.
She's definitely transforming in here. But my question is this the car from the crash? Because that's what you were referring to, correct? This is a scene where you thought,
yeah.
So because I thought that when I first saw this, I was like, oh, is this the car? I went back and forth a couple of times. This looks more like a helicopter to me. So
okay.
So we see like this panel right here. It's like a really dented green panel, and it's got like a little hinge coming off the panel itself. And then we see another part of a hinge higher up. And when I look at the car that crashed, it was all doors. It was like a sedan or a Suburban, got multiple doors, big windows. The only way this could be that car is if this is either the front hood or the back hood. It'd probably only be the front hood. And to me, it almost looks like there's chairs in the background here so I think this is her having transformed after coming under attack.
You know, you've convinced me. Yeah, I didn't see all that before, but you're right. Like that type of looped edge, you don't see that in cars. And the buckle on the left doesn't look as much like a car buckle. It looks more heavy duty. And it's either connected to the top or it's upside down, but even still, the way it's hanging, yeah, I think you're right. So there we go. So that first car crash could very well have been the one that caused her to need the infusion.
We'll see. Could go either way.
Those are like the baseline of any woman just existing. Oh. Bruce, kind of feels like if I don't transform, I'm gonna die.
Oof. Well, that's one way to test.
Yeah. Now, you have to believe that he had a contingency plan. But still, that's brutal.
It worked, although you also see that the cap that was on her head that was probably measuring brain function broken completely.
It's gone. Yeah.
Yeah. And all those blades are demolished. Yeah.
The Stark blades.
Oh, look at those.
Yeah.
And then she follows it up.
Yes. No.
I just want to.
August 17th.
Yeah.
All right, we can start counting down the days. We got a few things coming out before then, but
We do. And I have to say, I love the humor in this. So her, like Hulk going, yes, yes. And then she breaks out the door. No, no. Just the subtle playing around with the whole role and making some light out of it. I think that's going to be a lot of fun.
I agree. But I also paused on this for another reason.
Yes.
It looks like she got fired.
She very well could have. That could be that she was fired and she was bringing stuff home, or it could be that she was bringing home evidence and casework. Because I know that they got a lot of material.
Like it's the potted plant in there makes it look very much like she's had to pack up her things. I mean, granted, she could be moving from one location to another to be safe or whatever it is, but that is quintessentially what you put on a set to show pack your things and leave, you're fired.
Yeah. I don't know anyone with a potted plant that they would take with them if they left in my real job, but I don't know.
That's how it is in movies.
It is.
To be a normal.
So let me rewind that a little bit here because we get to see her face as She-Hulk for the first time.
Yes, we do.
And this is where Princess Fiona comes in a little bit.
Yeah.
Not the best.
Yeah, it needs work. The effects on this still, I feel like they have time to do that still. In August 17th, we have a couple months before that comes. So they have some time to get the effects right. Personally, I don't feel like it's going to prevent me from enjoying the show because that's the type of thing I can very easily just accept it. Suspension of disbelief for effects like that, I'm fine. As long as the storyline is consistent, I'm good. But they could do a little better, I think. I feel like the problem is Hulk looks great. He looks as realistic as he did in all the other movies. So the contrast there between how he looks and how she looks, that to me is the difference.
I agree. And it looks worse in other clips.
Yeah.
This is probably actually the best one. So let's continue looking at this to see what else we see.
Anonymous lawyer. Can you tell us where She-Hulk is? Jen.
So that was showing it looks like people think that She-Hulk is her client, not that she is She-Hulk. And also, let me rewind, go back to that. That kind of looks like it may be the room we saw her in earlier after her fired from whatever it was.
Yeah.
All right, let's continue on.
Jen, you're a story now.
And that's the really bad VFX, in my opinion. Ooh.
Yeah. Yeah.
What she's looking at on her phone that's making her shocked, I'm not sure.
Yeah.
It could be a dating app, as we are about to see as well.
Girl, your ass looks crazy right now.
Let me go back real fast, see if I can get the right shot here, because I want to see who that is. I don't know if you see, he's got a hard hat that's glowing.
And trailing gold dust.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So some kind of superpowered person.
Mm-hmm.
The thing is, what's interesting for this show compared to other ones is when we see some superpowered person, we're like, who's that? It's going to be the villain. She is a lawyer for superpowered people. So we're going to see a bunch of superpowered people that aren't people we care about. Yeah. They're just random people. Because that guy he looks scared.
He looks like he was maybe trying to jump her, but didn't really want to.
Very possible, yeah. We did see her Hulk out in that moment, so maybe he tried to take advantage of the fact that he saw a young woman walking down the street dressed nicely, probably has some money, jumps her, she transforms and flips him.
Yeah.
And then defends him in court. That's what's gotta happen.
Could be, definitely.
You could be an Avenger. Oh, I'm not a superhero.
I see them practicing again in that island, wherever they are, doing some jumps, some flying jumps.
Yeah.
That is for billionaires and narcissists and adult orphans for some reason.
Okay, two things that just happened here. Let's see. So we have first her in a court setting going to punch, who I'm assuming is Titania. Who
I'm assuming that as well.
Probably, I think it's already been announced that we do have Titania in this show as like one of the main villains. So I imagine that's who it is. And then we see Frogman.
Yes, we do. Which
I feel like Frogman's not a big character, so I imagine she just defends him in court, and there's barely anything else that he's in it. But you never know.
I'm kind of hoping he becomes like a comic sidekick or something. Like she defends him in court, and so he's like, "Then I will help you in your cases" or something. Like he takes it upon himself to defend his own honor by like paying it back. But I mean, he's Frogman. He has springs on his feet. Like that's his power.
Yeah, I don't see this character being like a driving force in this show.
I don't either, but I'm looking forward to seeing what role he does play.
All right, this is Titania right here.
It is.
So that definitely is the same red hair color that we saw from behind. This looks like this is the courtroom that she breaks into, and then they get into a fight. Yeah, Titania's powers are strength, very similar to the Hulk.
Right, and in the previous scene, on the ground, you can see what looked like some rubble, so it makes sense that when she busts through the wall, most people were already hiding under their desks, except for one person who was sitting up straight, just seemed very curious to watch. But yeah, I definitely do think this is happening right before the scene that we just saw with her going to punch.
Oh, and there was Abomination transformed in his cell.
Yep.
Looks like he was slamming into the side there as if he's trying to get out or upset about something that She-Hulk said. Not sure.
Yeah, for some reason he's changing here, but the cell is clearly ready for him. It glows red as he makes contact. It's built to sustain whatever he's doing.
It's very similar to the one in Avengers that was made for the Hulk isolation.
Yeah, there's definitely some additions here. Whatever that red is, I don't remember the red in the Avengers one, but otherwise, yeah.
Yep. Okay.
Is there anything more depressing?
So that's her scrolling through the dating app. Maybe that's what her phone lit up earlier. We don't know what's going on there. Obviously, we haven't had a whole lot of touching upon like dating scene in superheroes besides multiple people from like Avengers maybe having a thing. But really, it's like dating people from work, not trying to find someone to date. Not sure how much that's going to be a part of it, but it would be probably for some laughs because we see one laugh right after this.
And then dating in your 30s.
Yeah, this is the best date I've had in a while.
Oh.
Should we split some fries?
Let's get those to go.
Yeah.
A big muscular man being carried by a bigger muscular woman.
I wonder who if he's going to be anyone important.
Yeah. I kind of love this. And this does play to her character in the comics, that she is very confident and embraces the She-Hulk side in the comics. There's so many heroes that they have battles with who they are as a hero. Well, for her, she has battles with who she is as a hero, but not battles with who she is as being superpowered. That she just loves. She embraces it so much faster than the Hulk does, and she uses it to advantage.
It is a lot easier for her because when she transforms, she still keeps her own mind. So I think that makes it easier for her.
Definitely a plus. Yeah.
Disney Plus. So, what did you think of the trailer?
I liked it. I like the trailer. I feel like there's a lot of disjointed things, so there's a lot of questions on what exactly we're going to be seeing in the show. I'm really curious how this is going to go for me, because I love law. I find law incredibly fascinating. I took classes, more classes than I needed to in college in the law topic, and I was a business major, so I took more business law classes than I needed to, just because I find it really interesting reading how these things went. I don't like law shows typically, because it's not about the law, it's about the drama. So I'm really curious how this is going to go. Is this going to be accurate on the law side and be a superhero movie? Is it going to be all about the drama? Is it going to be more about the superhero side, but then law will be in the background? I'm really curious how this is going to turn out. But I like the humor of it. I like how it's not as serious, high stakes as a lot of these other movies. It is its own little story. We're just following, we're seeing how this person's going to deal with who they are. So I am looking forward to it. I think I'm more looking forward to Miss Marvel at this point, but we'll see. As things come along, we'll see how the show stays with me. But I am looking forward to it. Marvel's doing a great job with all these shows, so it looks fun. What do you think?
I agree. I mean, I'm definitely looking forward to it. Although I'm a true fanboy at heart for everything that they do. Like, I love it all every single time. I'm really excited for this. Graphics aside, I'm gonna not even notice the graphics partway through. Like, it's gonna be something that I was like, oh yeah, that doesn't really look as good as it should. It won't affect the story. It won't affect what's going on. Like, all of that stuff is still gonna be the same, and that's the stuff I've always loved. I don't know about the law side of things, but I'm definitely excited to see where they go. Have another Hulk person in it. I'm looking forward to them making a She-Hulk, He-Hulk joke where they call her She-Hulk and she's like, why aren't you called He-Hulk?
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to that. That's got to be in there somewhere.
Yeah.
But I think Tatiana Maslany is a great actress to play She-Hulk. Excited to see her in it. I'm excited. I think it's gonna be good. I am also looking more forward to Miss Marvel, but that's because I like the Miss Marvel comics so much. But I'm looking forward to this. More and more coming. We've got like 3 things in 3 months from Marvel.
Yeah.
So
yeah, and I have to say, I'm surprised by how big a role Hulk has. I mean, it's She-Hulk. You know Hulk was going to be in it. I knew he would be. But it's making it seem like he's playing a large role in this. I thought it would be more of...
I don't think he is.
You don't think so?
The
they're
only
just putting
times
all his scenes in here?
They're putting all his scenes in here. The only times we see him are on that island. Those all could just be one right after another or that's one true. Episode. We don't see him anywhere else.
Yeah, that's true. It could be.
Well, I am definitely looking forward to more Marvel coming out. And obviously when this show comes out, just like any other show that comes out, we're going to be doing discussion videos every week to cover it. And if another trailer comes out, when another trailer comes out, we'll do another one of these as well.
Definitely. Yeah, we got nine episode season for this one. So 9 episodes of discussions for us to go through.
And if you're just as excited as us and you want to hear what we talk about as we break down episodes or other trailers when they come out, go ahead and subscribe. Use that bell icon to make sure you're getting those notifications. Like this video if you liked it. You know, that's what like means. So if you do like it, please like it. Leave a comment if there's anything you noticed from the trailer that we did not touch upon, or if you disagree on anything that we did. If you think Hulk is going to be the second most on-camera character, let us know. If you think that car, if you are like looking at that and you're like, no, look at this thing, it actually is a car, it's not a helicopter, sound off in the comments section. I'll take a deeper look at that and see what you're talking about. We'll reply. Thank you.
Thanks for watching.